Yesterday, the weather report said there'd be a 60% chance of rain today, and indeed it did rain for about 30 minutes. Now the sky is, well, it's gray behind me, but parts of it have cleared up and the sun has come out. I think it's pretty much over. Maybe we'll get a little more. Strange event, shortly after the rain occurred, rainbow came out. That's not so strange, but it was behind a nearby building, which is very low to the ground. So it's a 2-3 story building, and it was visible behind it, very near the ground, and it looked almost like leprechaun gold shining out from behind the building. We've got this picture here, courtesy of a friend of mine, and it just looked cool. Not really seen rainbows do that before. Of course, the big news today was, if you'll recall, Friday I had an alert from Gmail saying that somebody had my password. And I don't know if this is related or not, but this morning I got a text message from American Express asking if some fraudulent looking charges were legit. And it was a text message, so it said, reply with a 1 if they're legit, or reply 2 if you'd like to talk to customer service. So I replied with a 2. Now, I don't know what I expected, but I immediately got a text message back that said, okay, call customer service. Bump. And then they gave me a phone number. And they also said, or you could call the number on the back of your card. Well, now the number on the back of the card is different from the number on the text message, but the text message was from a number that normally I associate with American Express, so I wasn't too worried about it, so I dialed it. And you get to their fraud bureau and it says, to proceed, please say the card number that you're calling about. So I start off with 515, and he goes, I'm sorry, and didn't work, so I'm getting a little freaked out. So I thought, well, I'll call the one on the back of the card. So I called the one on the back of the card. Now I had to take a break from work because of this, because fraudulent charges, you take care of it now. So I called up, and it goes in, I'm calling about fraud, and it says, okay, please say your account number. I'm like, my account number? I don't know what my account number is. Which I didn't say that out loud, but immediately goes, if you don't know your account number, you can find it on the top of your statement. Which, of course, I don't have handy. If you don't have a statement handy, you can find it on your online account. Would you like some more time to find your account number? If so, say yes. I'm like, yes? And he goes, okay, I'll give you a minute. So I'm frantically trying to look it up on my iPad and get my account number, and eventually it comes back, and after about a minute it says, if you haven't found your card number yet. I'm like, wait a minute, am I looking for my card number or am I looking for my account number? Not the same thing. So I started with the card number, and I got about 4 digits in, and he goes, I'm sorry. About this time, an email comes in from my wife. She'd received an email from the fraud division saying the same things, like, So she was freaking out, thinking that I wasn't sure if I had been spending money at some dodgy online place or if it was a real fraud. So I'm like, no, I'm trying to get hold of them right now. And about that moment, my work phone number starts ringing. And so I of course, stop and pick it up, and it's American Express. It's an automated call saying, hey, we've noticed these fraudulent charges. Would you like to talk to somebody about this? Yes! At least it didn't ask me to call them back. It connected me to someone, and we checked out the charges, got them reversed, got a new card issued. All that worked very smoothly. And then we get to the end of it, and he said, would you like us to have your cell phone number so that we can alert you of these, contact you that way? I'm like, you sent me a text message. Oh, well, that's on a different system. We can't do that. It's like, very efficient, and yet at the same time, what a complete cluster bang. Cluster bang. Yeah, that's the word. So I've got a new chip and pin American Express card coming in later in the week, and also weird thing, they asked me, would you like us to send it by U.S. Postal Service, which will arrive on Friday, or would you like us to send it UPS, which will arrive on Wednesday? Like, will you charge me more to send it UPS? Oh no, it's free. Like, why would anybody want it sent Postal Service if you can get it 2 days sooner? I don't know. Anyhow, that's the excitement for today. I'm hoping there isn't any more. Actually, I do have one other thing to talk about, and that is a program called Filmic Pro. Or, sorry, my age is showing there. I called it a program. In fact, it's an app. It's a camera app, and I've had it for some time, and I've never used it because, I don't know, it just doesn't seem... I don't know, I just didn't seem to need all the functionality, and I don't know. It's hard to describe. And of course there's the simplicity of just opening the program, the camera, and shooting like we are now. But there has been one thing that I've noticed with the iPhone camera app that is problematic. And that is the auto exposure and autofocus. Now, they work pretty well, don't get me wrong. But I don't know if the light is right, but I think you might see that if I turn my face like this to look at the traffic over there, or turn it to look over there, that the exposure may change, because it's kind of focused on my face and it's kind of trying to do the exposure. And the front of my face versus the side of my face has a different exposure, and so it changes, and so it rises and falls really with where my face is positioned, which is not good. You want it locked down solid. Well, the iPhone does provide you with the capability to lock those things. You touch the screen on the point you want to focus, and it brings the focus thing in, and you hold it for a few seconds, and after you've held it for a few seconds, it locks the exposure and the focus. I don't want the focus locked. I want just the exposure locked. Now, Filmic Pro offers that possibility, so I'm going to be poking around with a little bit here. It comes in both an iPhone and iPad version. It's the same version, but I have it on both the iPhone and the iPad. And it's got a couple of cool features that, if I can figure out how to make them work, looks like you can do a rack focus, which would be cool. And also looks like you can do a kind of the same thing with a zoom, although I avoid the zoom like the plague because it's digital zoom, and digital zoom sucks. I can do the digital zoom in post-production in Final Cut, so there's no need to do it on the camera. If you're going to go that route, you might as well do it digitally after the fact. So anyway, I don't have any experience with Filmic Pro, and so if you see any changes over the next few days as things go well or don't go well, that could be it. So we'll blame Filmic Pro, but in fact it's just me not knowing how to use Filmic Pro. Anyway, that's it for today, and if you will kindly like, comment, or subscribe down over here by the steering wheel. And we'll talk to you again tomorrow.